2023 so far for the Seattle Mariners offense has been all about players that are underperforming. We've seen Teoscar Hernandez struggle quite a bit. Julio has gone through his slumps. Cal Raleigh's gone through his slumps. Eugenio Suarez has gone through his slumps. But nobody has been through a bigger slump than Kolten Wong. Wong is a 10-year veteran, and you don't make it 10 years in the major leagues if you're not at least somewhat relatively decent. And the Mariners traded for Kolten Wong for that very reason. He's been around for this long. What can he give the Seattle Mariners now at second base? A position in which they really needed some help. Obviously, Adam Frazier wasn't great either, and they really had nobody coming up to take control of that position. But did the Mariners make a massive mistake by trading for Kolten Wong? Let's dive into the numbers a little bit and see what Kolten Wong is and isn't doing in 2023, and now riding the bench compared to a position where he was expected to take it and run with it. Look no further than Kolten Wong's Baseball Savant page. This is one of the worst Baseball Savant pages in the history of the world. The only thing that Kolten Wong has above the 53rd percentile is his whiff percentage at 75th percentile. Otherwise, he's walking in the 53rd percentile, he's striking out in the 53rd percentile, his chase rate's right around average, as well as his sprint speed being quite below average. Nobody in baseball is hitting the ball softer than Kolten Wong right now. His max exit velocity is one of the worst in baseball. His hard hit percentage is one of the worst in baseball. His expected slugging is the worst in baseball. His expected batting average is one of the worst in baseball. And his arm strength, as well as just his defense in general, also just have really fallen off. Comparing that to his 2023 numbers, you definitely saw his at-bats were better. He wasn't chasing basically at all, never striking out. He wasn't swinging through pitches. His arm strength and his outs above average were still pretty bad, but he was still making some hard contact once in a while with his max exit velocity up to the 59th percentile, 25th percentile in hard hit percentage. And Wong is a guy who, while he wasn't great, don't get me wrong, these numbers are not great for Kolten Wong, they were definitely usable out at second base. That's why the Mariners traded for him in the first place. And all these numbers in blue on this page are what Kolten Wong is at the worst at in the league. His 84.7 mile per hour exit velocity on average is the bottom 1% of the league. His expected batting average is just .198. That is below the Mendoza line for an expected batting average, where his career has been .244 and MLB average is .245. His expected slugging is nearly 100 points lower than his career norms at .352. And overall, Kolten Wong's numbers are just freaking atrocious this year. And now Kolten Wong has lost out on playing time to rookie Jose Caballero. And while Cabby has been struggling quite a bit at the time of recording this video, he has still been so much of a better player than Kolten Wong. So yeah, it's no secret that the trade for Kolten Wong has not worked out very well in the Mariners' favor, but it also hasn't worked out for the Brewers either. Jesse Winker has been basically just a DH for the Milwaukee Brewers, and he's been a designated hitter that can't hit. Of course, he's still showing great discipline at the plate with his chase rate in the 95th percentile, his walk rate in the 80th percentile, his whiff rate in the 77th percentile. With that being said, he's still not hitting the ball hard at all, and along with his attitude problems, Jesse Winker was never going to fit with the Mariners. His lack of versatility, plus his attitude problems, plus not performing, made Jesse Winker an absolute cancer for the Seattle Mariners. If there is one thing that Kolten Wong is doing more than Jesse Winker, that is his ability to play a position. Now, I'm not saying that Kolten Wong is playing second base well, but he's playing second base a hell of a lot better than Jesse Winker would if Winker was playing the outfield. Similar to Kolten Wong, as you can see with Jesse Winker, he is in the bottom 3% of the league in expected batting average, bottom 1% in expected slugging, so on and so forth. And now Winker is back on the injured list with more problems with his neck. And then there is Abraham Toro, who went over in that trade as well. He has a max exit velocity in the 10th percentile because he's only had 5 at-bats. With that being said, he did hit a home run. So did the Mariners make a mistake by trading for Kolten Wong? Yes, they did. Kolten Wong is not the guy at second base. But with that being said, he's kind of like addition by subtraction because you got rid of Jesse Winker, and Winker was never going to have a spot on this team. If you think the clubhouse would be bad with Winker, then it's so much better without Winker. Now, don't take this as me giving Kolten Wong some kind of pass. I think Kolten Wong is a great guy, and he's a 10-year veteran who is possibly just washed at this point. And obviously, with Jose Caballero beginning to struggle as well, maybe getting a little bit overexposed out there at second base, the Mariners are probably going to need to start looking for some middle infield help during the trade deadline. And Jerry DiPoto actually talked a lot about his trade deadline plans. I talked about that in a video on the screen now. Appreciate you guys watching this one, and go Mariners.